I'm feeling like this can be a fight as fast as the fight with Khamzat and Whitaker.
The 2.5, 3 minute storm of Khamzat, you're going to be in good shape, but that is not an easy task.
Hell no.
He's gonna be on your back.
Just because something doesn't happen in the first or second round doesn't mean that the fight's gonna go to DDP. I think this is just kind of like a casual take.
The tension between fighters has just intensified in a fiery clip that's now circulating online. Caio Borralho said he'll always root against Dricus du Plessis, praising Khamzat Chimaev as the real problem in the division. However, Caio Borralho is expecting fireworks when Khamzat and Dricus collide. He admitted he always bets against DDP, only to watch the champion silence him time and again. Despite that, Borralho believes this one could end quickly, just like Khamzat's stunning finish over Robert Whitaker.
This is crazy because I always bet against DDP and he always shut in my mouth. But I'm feeling like this can be a fight as fast as the fight with Khamzat and Whitaker. Like finishing the first round or beginning of the second round, you know. 60% of me say that Khamzat will finish this fight.
While he's confident that Khamzat has what it takes to get the win, he also acknowledged that if the fight goes the distance, DDP's grit and pace could tip the scales in his favor.
40% says that Dricus, with his size and height and his weight, he's a big guy for the division. I think he can stop the takedowns or even survive the first 2 rounds, and then the fight gets better for him. So I'm 60-40 on these 2 options.
So the longer the fight goes, the more it favors DDP?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Because Khamzat is the guys that go for it in the belt. He's just go at it, and sometimes if things don't go as the way he planned it, we've seen already he gets a little bit tired in the later rounds. So with a 5-round fight, and Dricus is a guy that even after he gets tired, he's still working. He's still making you go in deep waters.
Additionally, the Brazilian made it clear that once he handles business against Nassourdine Imavov, he expects to be next in line for a shot at UFC gold.
If the UFC called me, it's because they know that they can count on me, and then I'm the real champion, you know, because I'm willing to take risks. I have a big fight against a great guy, Imavov, in Paris 3 weeks after after Chicago, but still I was not afraid to take the risk and make weight to go to Chicago, and who knows if they're gonna need me or not, but I'm willing to take these risks, and then if I don't fight, I will make weight again, and I'm gonna go there and get my #1 spot to fight for the belt after.
Borralho emphasized that he's not only fighting, but also stepping in as the backup for Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis, making weight and staying ready in case he is needed by the UFC.
Just on the preparation, I'm still preparing myself to Imavov. That's the main focus, and for Dricus or Khamzat, it's just about I'm staying in shape, ready to go 5 rounds of war, and ready to get the title if the opportunity comes. I think this is undeniable for the UFC, for the fans, for the division, for myself, for my team. It's undeniable. After win from Imavov, I'm the next one in line, you know.
And while Borralho stays ready in the shadows, Khamzat Chimaev is putting the world on notice with his relentless training sessions. Footage shows the Chechen mauler dismantling sparring partners with ease, showcasing the same ferocity that's made him one of the most feared names in the division. From savage ground control to explosive stand-up, Chimaev is leaving a trail of destruction in the gym as he sharpens every weapon. Whereas Tim Welch pointed out that weathering the initial storm is critical. According to Welch, going toe-to-toe with Khamzat when he's firing on all cylinders is a dangerous gamble. He highlighted how Chimaev consistently hunts for the back and wastes no time imposing his will. Welch admitted he's genuinely curious to see how this matchup plays out, especially since Khamzat has a habit of going in full blast from the opening bell.
If you can weather the storm, the 2.5, 3 minute storm of Khamzat, you're gonna be in good shape, but that is not an easy task.
Hell no.
He's gonna be on your back. He's gonna come out and put the pedal to the metal from round 1. And Is that going to hold up? Is just randomly he's going to be able to stay composed like that? Because in his 15-minute fight with Gilbert Burns, in his 15-minute fight with Kamaru Usman, it was pedal to the metal whole time. And if 2 more rounds was going to happen with Kamaru Usman, that fight might have been quite a bit different.
Moreover, Tim offered a blunt assessment of Dricus du Plessis, stating that while DDP might not be the most technical fighter, he's an explosive powerhouse and a flat-out animal in the cage. Welch added that preparing for someone like Khamzat is a nightmare in itself. He suggested DDP should have 4 to 5 fresh training partners constantly rotating in, relentlessly shooting takedowns, and pressing him against the wall to mimic Khamzat's pressure.
And Dricus, I mean, he's not the most like technical everywhere, but god damn it, he's an explosive athlete who is a dog.
And he finds a way to be there. And then if you're not there when he is there,
you'd have to get guys, at least 4 guys, 5 guys, just switching in on you, just shooting on you on the wall, shooting on you on the wall, shooting on you on, and just, it would be a hard fight camp training for Khamzat.
yeah.
Grueling. That'd be horrible.
Yeah, I'm excited for that fight. It's such a huge fight.
Moreover, commentator and host Bear DeGidio commented on the growing tension ahead of the upcoming showdown and highlighted Khamzat Chimaev's presence as something extraordinary. According to Bear, Khamzat doesn't need to say much. His aura alone speaks volumes. He described Chimaev as possessing the energy of a beast, a fighter who enters a room and immediately commands attention without speaking.
That's like, what am I gonna do with a guy like that, you know? So, no more joking. No. Never. I never talk about him, and you're one person I do not talk about.
If you heard what he says right now,
I just said when I was a kid, I used to bully people like you, like pretty boy model. Him, he's a killer. I don't joke with him ever. You see, I don't even look at him sometimes. I get a little nervous. We're seeing a lot of drilling, a lot of high pace, high intensity, high volume drills that are allowing, obviously, everybody's cardio to build up, but at the same time, it's a lot of specific drills based off what they think DDP might do, how he might behave during the fight. Yeah, I think the narrative behind Khamzat having a low gas tank and not having this cardio, not having the volume to go 5 rounds, I think is a false narrative. Based off what I'm seeing here, based off the classes, the sparring, the grappling, yes, he's explosive. Yes, he's dynamic. Yes, he comes out with everything he has. But just because something doesn't happen in the first or second round doesn't mean that the fight's gonna go to DDP. I think this is just kind of like a casual take, just because everybody believes that the easiest thing to talk about it is cardio.
Building on that, Caio Borralho revealed that if given the choice, he'd rather step into the octagon with du Plessis than face Chimaev.
I don't want to seems like sounds rude that I want to Khamzat to, you know, hurt himself or get sick or anything like that. No. Like, I'm going with my heart like open to anything that can happen. If something happens, I'll be ready, you know? And the perfect situation is to fight Dricus, but I will fight any of these guys.
Although the reason for that goes beyond strategy, as Caio explained that he and Khamzat share a friendly bond and have spent time sparring together. That familiarity makes a potential clash with Chimaev a tougher pill to swallow.
The perfect situation is that I go there, make weight, and I fight Dricus. That's the perfect situation for me, and because I've been calling him out for so long, and I would prefer to fight him than Khamzat, because me and Khamzat, we were like friends, and we used to train together and all that, and I've been in his training camp and this, and it would be really good to go there and fight with Dricus, because he's the champion right now, and win after like 3 call-outs already, you know.
Weighing in, Sean O'Malley shared his excitement for the upcoming fight. He mentioned watching Dricus du Plessis take on Israel Adesanya and pointed out how strong and impressive DDP looked in that performance.
DDP versus Khamzat. What is that, like 2-3 weeks? Like,
Yeah.
holy. I just actually watched DDP versus Israel this morning before practice. And dude, Izzy was looking so good in that fight. Like, I remember watching it and thinking, like, I only had rewatched it just this one time, but watching it live, I remember thinking like Izzy looked good, and I kind of, you know, DDP took over. But dude, Izzy is very exciting for me right now. My buddy Jakar Close is fighting Edson Barbosa soon.
Furthermore, O'Malley admitted that it's hard to count Khamzat Chimaev out, especially after the way he dominated Robert Whittaker. He pointed out that Dricus has always been underestimated and continues to prove people wrong, but the damage Khamzat dealt to Whittaker makes it tough not to lean toward him. While Sean said he likes DDP, his pick for the win is Chimaev.
Khamzat's hard to count out. DDP is too. Obviously, everyone keeps counting him out each fight. He comes out there and does it, but Khamzat just... what he did to Whittaker, the way he did it to Whittaker, it's like, holy, it's hard to And then, yeah, I'm going to go with Khamzat on that. I do really like DDP.
Meanwhile, Marcus McGee shared his thoughts, saying that if he had to place a bet, his money would be on Khamzat Chimaev. He praised Khamzat for being not just vicious, but incredibly efficient inside the cage.
And if someone gave you $10,000 to bet right now, Dricus versus Khamzat, who you got?
Man, if I had to put money on it, I had to put money on Khamzat. How could you not? You know, he's just efficient and he's a vicious fighter, but that doesn't say enough about the story.
In addition, McGee added that if Khamzat can fight in the later rounds like he fights in the initial rounds, it would not only be impressive, but it would be a version of him that nobody can beat.
He's shown in different times that he can go other rounds too. If he could be the Khamzat he is in the first 3 minutes and then learn to, you know, up and down with that and turn that into a 5-round type of style, man, who can deal with that? Who can deal with that type of Khamzat? And who knows what he's been doing, you know? I think a lot of the medical issues that he's ran into play a big part in why he's had different issues as well. And if he doesn't have any medical problems for this whole time and he's been getting that good training in, man, you know, that's a problem. That's my thing too, is like, I don't think we've seen his full capabilities yet.
In contrast, the MMA guru is siding with Dricus du Plessis in this one. He believes Khamzat won't be able to run through DDP the way he did against Robert Whittaker. According to him, this fight is going the full distance, and when it does, he sees du Plessis coming out on top.
I've got DDP. Dricus du Plessis, Matt. I think it's less like... I almost feel like the fact that Chimaev is coming off of a first round rear naked choke submission win makes it less likely that he's going to do 2 in a row. Anyone else? Like, it was getting to the point where maybe, okay, he's probably due for another first round submission win, Chimaev style. But, I don't know. Since he just got one, I doubt he does the same thing again. He'll probably go more than 1 round this time. Back to the Usman Burns level of comp. So I reckon DDP wins later rounds.
Interestingly, YouTube analyst and commentator Bedtime discussed the hate and criticism Khamzat received. He claimed that if Chimaev were American, fans would be hyping him non-stop. Bedtime questioned the hate surrounding Chimaev, saying that, from a pure fighting standpoint, it makes no sense.
Chimaev was American, people would be glazing the fuck out of him. I do not get the hate on him. I understand that he's inactive. I understand the political side of things, I guess. Like, I understand the Kadyrov shit, but as a fighter, how the fuck do you look at this guy and go, dude, Chimaev fucking sucks, dude. Nah, dude, we don't want this guy as a champion. If he can fight actively, he would be a crazy hype champion, but I know he's going to be inactive. I know that's why people hate him.
Moreover, Bedtime pointed out that even if fans have concerns about Khamzat Chimaev, his current training camp is going to make a massive difference. He emphasized that the work Chimaev is putting in behind his cardio could be the key factor in this fight.
Dricus is exactly the same, but they both have shown in their fights the ability to kind of push through and win late and clutch up and get a second win. Even if you're worried about this for Chimaev, right? And that makes sense. The training that he's doing, I really believe, is going to make a difference in this fight. I already showed you that he trained at elevation with an improved training camp for the Robert Whittaker fight to go 5 rounds against someone that's a blocky, you know, solid striker, good takedown defense. You know, Dricus is a lot more physical and a lot more of a finisher than Robert Whittaker. He's a little bit bigger as well. But I think that, you know, to train for an elite level middleweight for a 5-round fight at elevation, that's a good sign if you're picking Chimaev.
However, McGee also acknowledged that Dricus du Plessis is the kind of fighter who always finds a way to tilt the fight in his favor. With DDP's size and pressure, McGee believes he could pose serious problems for Chimaev, making this a far tougher challenge than many expect. But ultimately, he stated that Khamzat would edge out the victory.
Dricus finds a way to win, right? And he's a big guy too, you know, and he can grapple and he can throw, and he's so unorthodox, you know. But if I had to put the money on it, man, I just feel like Khamzat is going to be coming out all cylinders firing, and I do think that that type of Khamzat could put a lot of damage on a Dricus.
In addition, Marcus McGee pointed out a key aspect of Dricus du Plessis' game, his ability to find his moments and shift the momentum if his opponent doesn't press the action, just as he did against Sean Strickland and Israel Adesanya. While he admitted that his bet would be on Khamzat Chimaev due to his efficiency and aggression, if no money was involved, McGee stated that he would support DDP, praising his resilience and ability to find a path to victory no matter the odds. In the end, he stated that DDP may pull off the victory against Chimaev.
And then if you're not there when he is there, he'll come after you, you know? And that's why, again, if I had money on it, I'd put it on Khamzat just because that's where I'd put the money. But without money in it, I'm going with Dricus. I think he finds ways to win, man, and I think he's gonna find a way to win against Chimaev.
On the other hand, Bedtime made it clear that he's picking Khamzat Chimaev to get the win, but pushed back on the idea that Khamzat is just a 1 or 2 round fighter. He pointed out that Chimaev has been putting serious focus on his cardio and conditioning, and believes that work will pay off in the later rounds.
Khamzat Chimaev training with one of the best strength and conditioning coaches, especially for 5-round MMA fitness. This is specifically designed for UFC caliber championship level fighters. And that is what Chimaev is doing to prepare for this fight. I think that's a great sign. And I'm picking Khamzat Chimaev. And I think that the cardio issues are overblown. I don't see him as this 1 round or 2 round fighter and then he dies like a cardio death. I think he can get a second win. I think this could honestly look like the Usman fight, but just extended to 5 rounds. And we see Chimaev win by decision. I feel like picking Chimaev by decision is actually not that crazy.
Adding to that, the MMA guru emphasized that Dricus du Plessis won't win if he relies on a grappling-heavy game plan. But at the same time, he highlighted that DDP can't avoid the grappling exchanges either. According to him, DDP needs to accept that wrestling will be a part of the fight and be ready to mix it up.
I don't think DDP can win with a grapple-heavy game plan, but he needs to accept that he's going to grapple rather than trying to avoid it. You know, people forget, man, chat, this was the take I had that made Demetrius Johnson consider me a genius in MMA and spurred the birth of the Mighty Guru Show. It'd be so hype if Dricus pulls it off, man. Can you imagine the scenes, chat, when Chimaev starts slowing down and DDP starts pouring it on? Cinema. Absolute cinema, chat.
In a surprising twist, Caio Borralho made a bold claim, saying there's an 80% chance Khamzat Chimaev might retire if he wins this fight. According to Caio, the constant pressure to perform and maintain the image of being the best could push Khamzat to walk away from the sport after reaching the top.
If Chimaev wins this battle, I have like 80% sure that he's gonna retire. And I don't know, there's too much pressure on him from his country and all the guys from there that I don't want to say the name. And I don't know if he wants to keep doing that. It's too much for him, and he's making a lot of money for so long time, and he's already rich as fuck, you know, so makes no sense for him. Maybe he can go up and do a bigger fight and he wins more money on in the higher division, but I don't know.
James Lynch pointed out that Khamzat Chimaev brings a style that Dricus du Plessis isn't used to dealing with. He explained that the stylistic matchup could create serious problems for DDP, especially with the pressure, pace, and unpredictability that Khamzat brings into the cage.
I just think that this is a new style for DDP that he's fighting, and that's not something he's really used to, is fighting like a heavy grappler, heavy submission guy. I think the style matchup could pose some problems there. Now, the layoff for Chimaev is a concern. It's always going to be a concern. Even as well as Chimaev's done and he hasn't lost, that is something I am sort of keeping tabs on. Like, how's he going to look on the scale and all that? I know obviously he's training while he's been off, but I think being out of the cage for a while could be a factor here in this fight.
Building on that, James believes that if the fight goes beyond the second round, Dricus du Plessis' chances rise significantly. He explained that if DDP gets the win, it will be because he survived Khamzat's early storm and capitalized in the later rounds when the pace starts to shift.
If this fight goes past round 2, I think DDP has a strong chance of winning this fight. I think if DDP is going to win this fight, it's because he weathered the early storm and was able to take advantage in the later rounds. I know there's Chimaev people out there that claim he's got this amazing gas tank and all that, and yes, we could point to the fact that when he fought Burns, that he, was still dealing with some health issues, and that's why his cardio wasn't as good. And just with his style, he does kind of go for broke early in the fight, so that would impact your cardio. So I mean, we've seen DDP go 5 rounds before. We haven't seen Chimaev do that at middleweight, going the 5 rounds. So I think there is still a question mark in his cardio.
With tempers flaring, predictions flying, and fighters lining up for their shot, the collision between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis feels less like a fight and more like a reckoning. Whether it ends in a storm of violence or a drawn-out war of attrition, one thing is certain: this clash will shake the middleweight division to its core. So, who are you siding with for this matchup? Drop your predictions down below, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss a beat.